What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and this is just going to be a short little video to give you my opinion on Ayla and Lee Entropy, who have just entered the banner, and maybe give you some ideas as to whether or not maybe if you want to pull for these characters or if not. The recommendation that people are always going to give you is that you should always save your black cards for the S banners. Espianca will be next. And that's usually what people do. Now, if you do spend a little money, if you do have some extra black cards, maybe this is something you would consider. Maybe you're new to the game, maybe you want to get some new characters, maybe. But if you're free to play, you should absolutely be saving your black cards for all your S rank characters. And Lee Entropy is an S rank character, and Ayla, or Ayla, depending on how you want to pronounce it, is actually an A rank character. We'll start with Lee here. Now, Lee, and you make sure that you pull Lee in this event right here because it's 100%. Well, my face is kind of blocking it, but it's 100% in 60 attempts. So if you are going to pull for Lee, pull him here. And the thing about Lee is he's 100% physical damage dealing character. And Lee is like a weaker version of Alpha, more or less. I mean, that's pretty much what he is. I mean, she's 100% physical damage dealing character, but so is Lee. A big difference though with Lee and her is Lee, even though he's 100% physical like her, his AoE damage is actually quite insane and his signature is just nuts. I've seen some crazy scores from this guy, especially in Warzone, even comparable to Alpha, depending on the quality of player that you are, and of course depending on how your builds are. Lee's actually quite nuts. He's a very, very good character. Again, I don't advocate for pulling for him if you're trying to save your black cards for Espianca or if you're free to play, but he really is an amazing character. He's a character that I don't have. I wish I did have because I think he's awesome. Not really because I need him. I already have Alpha, but I would just like to have him just because I think he's cool. I just think he's a super fun character that would be really, really fun to play. The guy's damage is actually quite insane. He's quite nuts. And then we have Ayla, who's in the banner, that just showed up in the banner today. And you can set her for a chance up right now. Well, actually a 100% chance after 10 pulls. So once you did 10 pulls, you're going to get your 100% rank A character. And that's going to be Ayla if you choose it to be her. They did end up changing this from, they removed Watanabe and they put her in here. Now, she's actually a really solid character, man. She's, 100% physical. So she's going to work really, really well with characters like Alpha, with characters like Lee Entropy. She's going to be awesome for those characters. But the thing is, they give you B-Nonomy for free in this game when you start out in the game. And as far as 100% physical tanks are concerned, like Ayla, you have a couple of them, like Kamui Bastion here and B-Nonomy. And, B-Nonomy, the thing about B-Nonomy and what makes her so good is usually whenever you use these tanks, sometimes people use them as damage dealers. Sometimes people use them for their QTEs. Now, Nonomy doesn't really, her QTE is really powerful because it can actually break super armor, especially if you have a certain weapon for her. But the reason people like using her is really mainly because of her blue orbs. I mean, look at how much the physical damage reduces whenever you have this thing leveled up. This isn't even maxed out. There is a lot of physical damage reduced big time. So she's actually just insane for your physical damage dealing characters. I mean, even if you have a Catherine set on her and then you activate those blue orbs before you bring in Alpha or Lee Entropy, you're going to just do insane damage, right? So Ayla doesn't really replace her at all for the physical damage dealing team. And then you got Kamui Bastion, who's actually quite awesome as well. This is a terrific character to play. The thing about this character, about this tank, is that whenever he uses QTE, he does have a physical damage and stunning for 3 seconds. And Ayla, she can stun, but only if you have her 6-star weapon. And that's never something that I'd really recommend doing, is going out and get a 6-star weapon, unless you just love the character, their waifu. I mean, Ayla's definitely waifu material, and you want to, make the most of her and get the most out of her. But he does reduce defenses of the target up to 10% for 6 seconds. With Ayla, this lasts for about 5 seconds. So that is a difference, right? You're going to get a stun and the reduced defenses all at once with Kamui Bastion. And if you already have Kamui and you already have B-Nonomy, you really don't need Ayla. I mean, you might need her in the future, but I mean, she does have a reduced defenses also that goes up to 10% when it's maxed out. It just lasts for 5 seconds instead of 6 seconds. And that 1 second can make a little bit of a difference as far as, having a tank character for their QTE as a support, more or less. But this stun for 3 seconds is nice. And when it comes to Ayla, her weapon, let's kind of scroll over and get to it. Her weapon is what's going to allow you to be able to stun a target from doing their QTE. I mean, you know, all damage increases by 2% for 5 seconds when dealing damage to the enemies with super armor, which is actually nice because a lot of opponents in the game have super armor, and it can be stacked up to 3 times. So she can go up to 6% extra damage, and then duration refreshes when the effect is repeatedly triggered. And then it stuns an enemy for 2 seconds. So with Kamui Bastion, you get a 3-second stun whenever you're doing a QTE, but you're going to need this weapon for Ayla in order to get the stun, right? After you break super armor. And it's on a 10-second cooldown for the same target. And the physical damage is increased by 15% for 7 seconds when releasing Vector Cube. So, I mean, you get that physical damage bump, and since Ayla is a 100% physical character, that is a good thing. And the thing about Ayla is you can farm her in the interlude. I mean, you can come right in here, and you can farm for old girl right in here every single day, and you're going to need 30 shards to obtain her, and that's going to take you 15 days, right? It's only going to take you about 2 weeks. Now, unless you're just trying to get some extra shards, get some extra dupes, there really is no reason to come in here unless she's just massive waifu and you want to go for her. I mean, I think Ayla's awesome. Personally, I would love to play with her because, like, she's got some cool things where, like, whenever you're doing her signature move, you can actually control the direction of her whenever you're doing her signature move. That's pretty damn cool. Not to mention that she gets a nice big 70% damage reduction when she's going into her core passive, which is any 3 ping into a blue. I mean, it's pretty cool, man. She's a pretty tanky girl, if you know what I mean. And I personally would love to have her, and I think that anybody that does have her, they're going to love her. But I mean, like I said, you know, they give you Nanami for free in the game, and she's pretty much the best tank for your physical damage dealing team. However, Ayla might have some uses in the future. Personally, I would just farm her in the interlude. I think that's the best advice that I could give anybody as far as, you know, pulling for her. And Lee, I mean, if you don't have alpha, Lee might be worth pulling. I mean, a lot of players are going to have their S-rank selectors whenever you start this game. You will have an S-rank selector, and you can pull Lee from here. I'm actually thinking about Karenina myself, but I'm not really sure because you actually need Nanami to really get the most out of Karenina as far as having a tank support, but that's a whole nother subject. But Lee really is amazing. And, you know, it really does suck that I always have to recommend people to save their black cards, right? Because there's so many other cool characters that you could pull for and go for. I mean, honestly, Ayla's a really cool character, and she's super fun to play. You get to play her a little bit in the interlude, and Lee is freaking awesome. Lee is so strong, and honestly, he's super underrated because of the presence of Alpha, but God almighty, he really is strong. I've seen some insane scores from that dude in Warzone. My God, he's just nuts. So let me know how y'all doing in the game. Let me know what characters you're working on. Let me know if you're going to pull for Lee or Ayla, or if you're just going to farm for Ayla in the interlude. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT+7 time. The link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.